Hi and welcome to my Monster DIY Tensahedron stand video part 2. If you haven't seen part 1, please watch that. I talk about how I actually built this stand and will it hold me. Part 2 really focuses on the suspension for the hammock and then suspension for a tarp and how to actually make this all work together. So you'll see that when I left this, in order for it to have a height for me to sit in the hammock, I had to have that left and right apex really spread out. Like that's like 12 feet. And most other people said that they were about maybe 5 or 6 feet. So I needed to be able to add whoopie slings or some sort of equivalent and not actually hook the tarp straight or hook the hammock straight to the apexes. So here I added this whoopie and this worked out perfectly. I then just used carabiner to attach it to the hammock ridgeline and then back again to the whoopie. On this end, I didn't use a carabiner, actually put the whoopie straight into that quick link. And maybe if I just leave the whoopies attached, I would use the quick link. I'm not sold on what I'll do. I won't use that top rail because I've heard that's brittle and I'm way more secure with the bolts. But we'll see what I end up doing in the long run. Oh, and I didn't show you really what these apexes looked like in the ground, so I wanted to show you. I haven't worked out that mesh webbing, how to knot. I think I might do a whoopie. I really am proud with how these end caps really turned out when we sawed off the top. That I'm really happy with. I think that's a smart setup. And with the whoopies, I'm now at like that 5 to 6 foot length, so that's really nice. Oh, and thanks Cat Dog for the whoopies. For the anchor part, I just tied off to a stable place in my yard, so that was off the front porch, and it works really well. I'm happy with how that worked out. So I wanted to really feel comfortable. I was like shaking the poles. How is it moving at all? There is a little bit of, not even just a bend, but movement, but nothing that made me feel insecure that it wouldn't hold me. And we'll just have a nice little swing because I feel really confident in it. I cannot wait to have my first night in this stand. I think that'll make me feel even more secure. Here I tried to shorten it even more than 6 feet, and yeah, that didn't work whatsoever. I needed to have that full like 6 feet, and it was fun to be able to play though, and not knowing huge physics and geometry. Like it was nice to be able to know exactly what's going to work for me. I would love to have a setup where I can go and it's up and I'm getting close. So it was fun to just kind of enjoy my stand. I don't have trees in my yard, so I got my kitty out, and Kisma and I just had a nice little nap in the hammock stand. I wanted to see how it would work with tarp. How am I going to do the tarp? This is an underground quilt, 13 foot. So on one side, I did an attachment one way, and on the other end, I did an attachment another way. So here I actually left the doors open, and I staked out the doors, and I used the ridge line from the tarp and the hammock. I still just left it on there because it was attached anyway. I just tied it off to my anchor point because normally this would be around a tree, and then I left the top here of the tarp just loose. I thought, well, let me see if I don't actually clip it into what normally would be my namaclaw. If I don't do that and I just really rely on the tension of staking the doors, will that work? And yeah, it totally works. It's a little, floppy and a little loose, but that's not horrible. I would wonder how it's going to be with wind, if the wind's going to catch up a little more. It was kind of a windy day, but not like hugely windy. So on this side, I thought, well, let me attach the top and let me see how it's going to work with doors. Now I did not actually put I didn't actually snap the doors and then tie it out. So here you can see I attached straight to that top rail. We'll see. That was fine. But the doors are a little loose because I didn't properly stake that down and tension them. But the doors still snap closed together, and that was really my point. I just anchored the rest of that tarp ridgeline down, and that really worked fine. So I can totally see me leaving it like this. I was hoping to have the tarp elevated a little bit more, like 6 feet where I could walk underneath it. And I'm like 5'6", so you can see like that's really only maybe 5 feet at the most. So we'll see if someone else has come up with a really good way for me to do the tarp. I wanted to add my end pole mods in here because like even with the trees it will push in on me, and I don't think it'd be any difference with the end pole mods in here, but I just want to play. Now that I have my stand, I just really want to be able to play with it. So here's kind of, I think it works great. This could go just as is. Here I actually put the end pole mods in, and just as suspected, there's no difference in setup. There was no weirdness, no tweaking, no anything. I could totally use my end pole mods on this and it would be completely fine. So here I'm playing a little with something I got online. It is for porch mode. I got off eBay for like $4 each. It's a telescoping flagpole, and I just got them, so I wanted to play. These actually like telescope down on themselves. They're 6 feet tall, so you can see just how high they go. And here I will just close it in on itself so you can see just how little and compact they down. I might take this little rubberized part off and just leave the metal, but man, I bought it so I could actually hang my Lucy light over a picnic table to give more light to the picnic table. But you'll see that there are the two clips where the flag, oh come on, zoom in, there we go, where it would clip in, and that's totally where you could just attach your tarp. So I didn't guy line these out to see just how well they would stay and will they stay telescoped open, but I don't see why not. So I think I might try this. So here's kind of my big setup, and some of the things that I really want to work on would be adding the bolts in the middle of the poles so that when I go to move it, they don't come apart. That's one thing I think I'm going to do. I do not think that I am going to cut the length of the poles whatsoever. I'm going to leave them the full 10 feet. Now I can always go back and change my mind. I will paint them, so because they're galvanized, I need to take off the galvanized part, and I have to be able to chemically strip that somehow. I have to figure out how to do that, and then make a carrying bag, and then I think I'm done. So I will make a part 3 to be able to kind of show you exactly those little fine refinements that I've done and the little tweaking that I've done to be a final finished project. But I feel like I'm 95% done with this now, and cannot wait to see what other people are doing so I can make tiny little modifications on mine. So thanks for watching, and I'll put the link to the first video on here. Have a great day.